Then son got married.
You see, that's the number one question. Adam and Eve had Cain and Abel. Cain killed Abel.
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell did the rest of the people... Who did what with who?
They're on the funeral.
And I'm holding a Twizzler, so you get the idea of what I'm talking about. Anyways. Welcome people, welcome back to Unholy Talks. Today we're discussing about something that was big news last week, not big news to this week.
We already forgot about it.
We already forgot about it. The Trump plan. The Trump plan, the deal of the century. Mahmoud, when you saw the conceptual map of that plan, what was the first thing that came to your mind?
You know, I was start thinking about all these school kids. They have to they draw their maps, country maps. I was like, maybe this kind of deal will encourage kind of artistic skills on the Palestinians because they have to draw a very difficult, impossible to draw map. But they will have to draw it.
They would have to draw. What does your country look like? Let me take my pudding that I'm eating, put it on the wall. That's the closest thing my country looks like.
The sad part of the story is that this thing is fucking on the table. I mean, this is by the most powerful country in the world, and
Russia.
The rest of the world are pretty shy on saying anything serious. So it will be the Palestinian map in the future. So it's a really bad deal to start with. I think the map is just embodied that awfulness of the deal, and kind of there visually to tell you that this is a bad deal, and you don't have to read the text. You can just look at the map, and I think that's insulting.
But let me provoke you on a few details. The deal said, whatever the plan, that Palestinian capital is going to be in Abu Dhabi. That is a stupid idea, right? No, wait.
They can call it whatever they like.
Well, let's call it a stupid idea, all right? But can I ask you a serious question? Then why the hell did the Palestinians build the parliament in Abu Dhabi in the 90s? Why did you build the parliament in Abu Dhabi? And then when Trump comes and tells you, hey, you know, the capital is going to be there, since you built a parliament building there, all of a sudden, you know, it is a problem, right? Can we agree that there have been missteps in the 1990s, and this map is a consequence of all of those missteps that were taken day after day after day after day after day after day? I
mean, okay. One.
Fair point. Man.
There's been a series of bad mistakes taken by, you want to say, the Palestinians, the Palestinian Authority, the Palestinian elite, the Palestinian political elites, whatever you want to call us, them. Yes.
Let's not mention any names because we need to go.
No names.
We need to go to Ramallah once in a while.
Yeah. Now, for Rukab, right? To eat ice cream.
Yeah, for Rukab.
Yeah. The other point to mention is, well, Israeli ministries are all over in Tel Aviv.
Yeah.
Yet they claim a capital in Jerusalem. So actually, I mean, building a building in Abu Dhabi doesn't really mean that you are giving you rights on the rest of Jerusalem.
No, you're building a parliament. It's different than a ministry.
Yeah, you should have. There should have been a lot of care has been taken on that step, I guess. Also, at the time when that was built, Abu Dhabi is in East Jerusalem. The wall wasn't built by then, and there was no idea about where the wall is. So I think, in hindsight, I think they didn't really kind of envision that this is going to be the situation. But I think that monument has not been setting anyway, and no one was been in that building.
No, they stopped.
Not even the maintenance people.
It's partially built, and as far as I know now, there are dogs that run around it. But the idea that somebody, I mean, they built it, and to me is that you took the first step in recognizing that this part of the city, you could argue somehow
that
is the capital.
You could argue that the Palestinians have made a mistake by always accepting, as a starter, that it is only East Jerusalem that we are asking to be the Palestinian capital. So now with Trump, he's saying, well, it's not going to be East Jerusalem, it's going to be within East Jerusalem. So I think the Palestinians have put themselves in a disadvantaged position by already demanding from a compromised position
To
anyway.
negotiate on a half.
Correct.
So
They
once
should
you
have
negotiate
negotiated-
on a half, you're only going to get the quarter of the half.
Exactly. So you can
Right.
argue that that was a huge Palestinian mistake, probably not just on Jerusalem, and many other things as well. I think on the refugees and on the type of state it's going to be, and on the land and the size and so on. So we already negotiated on a already compromised position. But back to Trump, I mean, I don't know if this taken 3 years to write. I mean, God,
I
this.
think the man has been busy trying to like dodge impeachment, dodge impeachment, dodge impeachment. But he did give us a water theme park in the old city, the Aqua Mosque.
Aqua Mosque, yeah.
So now I'm gonna be sliding from the Armenian quarter to the Muslim quarter and down to Silwan for the.
Some people will be going to pray in Al-Aqsa Mosque, some people will be going to swim. So you choose.
So the man thought about us.
You put on your prayer clothes or your swimming suit.
Thought about us. Even the cameraman agrees. It gets very hot in Jerusalem during the summer.
Well, actually-
and Trump thought about it.
In Jerusalem, we need water. I mean, that's for sure. We need a river or a sea. Now, an aqua, I'm not sure.
We're getting an Aqua
Mosque.
Mosque. The map also said that the triangle, Al-Fahim, or I don't know, these that might go to Palestine. Now, the
Or
residents
Palestine will come to them. They're not.
yeah,
Palestine.
they're not moving, but something is happening above
Yeah.
them. They protested. They held the Palestinian flag, the residents of the triangle.
Yeah.
They protested. They held the Palestinian flag, simultaneously saying they don't want to be part of Palestine. Can you explain to me that? Because somebody from the outside might be very confused in that.
Well,
I will now hold the Greek flag and say I don't want to be part of Greece.
Well, there's two levels of this. One is on the political level. On the political level, they belong to a political system now, and which is Israel political system. So actually, suddenly changing their political affiliation or their citizenship affiliation is infringing their basic rights. You don't come to a French person and make him German. You know, that has nothing to do with him liking French or hating German or liking German or hating French. That has nothing to do with that. You just do not change the political rights of a person without consulting with them just because of that. So you can't make someone a Palestinian if he's an Israeli just because you think it's good for him. You can't do that.
But what if that guy is holding a Palestinian flag and identifying as a Palestinian?
They identify as a Palestinian culturally, but they politically belong to the Israeli system. So on the political level, you cannot change their citizenship overnight without consulting them, without talking to them, without their consent.
Yeah.
That's one. On the Palestinian nationalist level or on the idea of them being Palestinian, that's their cultural identity, and the flag is, you could argue, they are basically supporting the collective Palestinian rights for equality and for dignity and for self-determinations and so on.
In Israel?
Now, well, wherever,
In the land.
wherever they are, Palestinians or wherever they were.
Alright.
But there's also another point which is inconvenient, but we have to admit it, I think. That's their daily routine in Israel is, their life is much more easier. Their economy is better. Their
Careful on
human
what you
rights,
say.
well, we'll have to be honest, right? We'll have to be honest. Their level of life now being in Israel is better than now being in the Palestinian Authority.
Economically speaking.
Economically, democratically, human rights level. I mean, we can criticize the occupation as much as we like, but a Palestinian living under the Palestinian Authority today has less rights and economic prosperity than a Palestinians living within the Green Line in Israel. Neither are ideal, neither are perfect, but if you're going to put it on a scale in terms of economy and human rights, state of law, and basic life standards, I would argue that people within the border of Israel have better. I'm not saying that it will always be like this. Maybe in the future, and we aspire and we should hope that the Palestinian life within the Palestinian territory or the Palestinian state or the future state, which is all up in the air now anyway, but we'll aspire, if there is a Palestinian state, then we should have a quality of life within Palestine, of course, much better than living as a Palestinian in a state that declares itself not yours. So
Alright,
they
so-
are demonstrating against taking away some of the privilege they already have.
Okay, so a foreigner should not get confused by a Palestinian holding Palestinian flag, saying he doesn't want to be part of
No,
it.
I don't think it's
I get your explanation. I'm just saying for somebody from the outside, looks very confusing.
I think that someone from outside should be really confused or should really question why someone else from outside, sitting in the White House, interfering on how the Palestinians
Boom.
inside and outside historic Palestine and mandate Palestine would like to live and would like to have their affiliation. That's what's confusing. Why someone who understands very little about the words.
Sorry, I just want to point
And
out
his-
he's also wearing a Norwegian flag. You Palestinians have like something with flags.
This is in commemoration of Oslo. I'm commemorating Oslo.
It's
So for 40 days now, post-Trump plan, I'm gonna have a Norwegian flag to remember the funeral of Oslo for 40 days. That's
That's a very good answer. Anyways, until next time.
until the next deal. Are the Armenians will provide a deal?
Yeah, we have a very good deal.
For us, no, not for you, for us.
Oh no, we don't for you. Bye bye. From where are we in the map right now?
Oh Jesus, we are in the American colony.
Okay.